welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the late start today and everything. It's been kind of a wild week. Today I went on an editing kick. I am now on page 135. I'm super impressed with myself, and I really do plan on getting more done tonight. The chunk I have out right now goes to page 163, so it's less than 30 pages. If I get another kick like I had this morning, I could easily finish this section just in a sitting. So that's going really well. I'm feeling very positive about that. So today I wanted to do a couple of different things. The first thing I wanted to do is that I wanted to give you guys kind of a look at my writing space in my apartment. I know some of the people who watch my channel are personal friends, and I recently moved and some of them haven't been here, so I figured what the hey, I'll just post some apartment video. Please pardon it, it's not the cleanest place in the universe because we actively work in here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, so just keep in mind, but I'm gonna go ahead and insert that footage, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, so I was gonna do this video about a week or two ago, and I started to record it, and then I accidentally deleted the footage because I'm dumb. So I'm going to do my writing space video now. Okay, so this is my bookshelf of randomness. My nail polishes are on it. I sometimes paint my nails when I'm writing because I can't do anything other than type when my nails are wet. So I also have, you know, like some books and some random stuff down there. This little separator has, like, I don't know, every pen ever invented and my autograph from Joan Jett. So that makes sense. So yeah, that's the shelf. I also have my, you know, cat brush and my D&D dice chilling out there. So I do sit at my desk almost all the time. If I'm not at work, I'm at my desk pretty much. So I just kind of have my randomness everywhere there. So here's my kind of inspiration corner. I've got some nerd stuff and some horror stuff, and it gets kind of jostled around, you know, because I have cats and I'm a mess. And so, you know, here's the main characters from Next Gen, all made out of crochet, made by CJ, because she is the bomb diggity. So that's pretty groovy. I got my Weird Al. His accordion's down in the cup, but my nephew kept wanting to play it, and it doesn't fit in his hands anymore, so I don't know if he's got moved wrong or what's up with that. But and then there's some gremlins singing to me. Got myself a little Buddha. That's my little brother with my niece. And there's my pirate duck and little Edgar Allan Poe. And so that's my little kind of inspiration corner. Bless you, kitty. So then we move on to, that's kind of office supply stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis, and then fingernail clippers. My lamp and, you know, plugins and all that jazz. There's my computer. Here's the wall above my computer, which you don't see when I'm filming, which has a bunch of inspirational stuff on it as well, including, I went out with some friends, and there's a picture from Photo Booth Thing, and my Camp Crystal Lake banner, and this also has lights, but it's daytime now, so they're not terribly striking right now, so they're not on. So yeah, and then moving along, I've got my little dry erase board, which up until today had swear words written on it. Well, almost swear words. There's my teapot, because I drink tea all day. There's my other lamp. That's the lamp that's usually behind the camera when I'm filming. My little box. There's my manuscript I'm working on. As you can see, I'm currently on page 135, which is pretty swifty. There's Mr. Crowley. He thinks he's starving to death. Don't ya? You want to tell him? See, it's like he doesn't know I'm looking at him, but he totally knows I'm looking at him. You got something to say? He won't meow now. That's the chair I sit in. There's the dreamer. She wants to say hello too. Hi, baby girl. They're both acting pretty silly. That's the windows behind me, which is why I don't film just from my computer, because that's always like all lit up. That's our D&D table. It kind of rolls around, and keep D&D stuff on it. It's for when we have game at our house. It's my husband's workstation. Yeah, so there's that. That's kind of a continuation of his workstation. And then here's a bookcase that has some of both of our books. You can see the extensive gaming book section there. That's the section of the books I think he uses right now. So, and then here's our dining room, which is video games on that TV there, and the bookcase, and over here's the litter boxes, which you don't need to look at because that's nasty. So then, oh, that's the problem. I see your food's low. He thinks he's starving to death. There's our kitchen. I need to go in there. It's not terribly clean. And our bathroom. So that's the apartment. Back that way is just the bedrooms. And once again, not terribly clean. Not going to show you that. So the balls of paper on the floor are not because I'm a lunatic. They're because Dreamer thinks that's the greatest game ever. So, and then there's like a 1-inch gap under our door. So that pillow sits there to try to keep some of the cold air from outside from coming in, because this front room gets pretty chilly. So yeah, it's my writing space. That's where I sit most of the time. You can see my shoes are there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, bye. Back. Thank you for taking a look around the apartment. So anyway, the next thing I wanted to do today is that I wanted to do another writer's tag. To do the Meet My Main Character Authortube tag from Wolfshot Publishing. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that. The thing I'm focusing on today is the story I'm working on right now, which is called Hell's Bend. There are 2 main characters to the story. I don't know why I just put it 3, because I'm an idiot. But there are 2 main characters in the story. One is Tanner, and the other one is Alice. And Tanner's an adult male, and Alice is a about 12-year-old female. So they're the main characters. So I'm going to actually do these questions for both of them. It will require a little flipping back and forth because I've written down my answers so that I can answer more readily and not run my battery and my recording space out. So the first question: which character from a popular book or series would make a good best friend for your main character? For Tanner, I put down Simon from Lord of the Flies. They're both very analytical, and they're not really concerned with what other people are thinking about right now. They just want to do what they feel is right, and so they do that thing. So I feel like Tanner and Simon would get along really well. Which character from a popular book or series would give your main character an interesting fight? I guess for Tanner, I want to do Jack Torrance. First of all, Tanner has a history of alcoholism, which he touches on very briefly. So he can identify with Jack Torrance. And the other thing is that because Tanner doesn't believe in the supernatural at all, the things that Jack sees and experiences, Tanner won't necessarily believe. So it would make it a lot harder for him to actually be able to do anything versus Jack, because Jack has that assistance and Tanner doesn't believe it. Number 3, which character from a popular book or series would make a good would make a good romantic interest for your main character? Tanner's not good at romantic. Nothing's going to be good for him. That's just not his style. There isn't probably someone I would consider a good romantic interest. Which story would your character feel most comfortable being thrown into? Basically any real world setting, because Tanner doesn't believe in the supernatural at all. He wouldn't do well in any place where there's supernatural or magical elements. But I'm getting weird emails. But because he can't deal with the magical and supernatural stuff, he wouldn't do well in any place where those are prominent. Which story would he be completely out of place in? Lord of the Flies, Dark Tower, anything where there's magic or the supernatural, anything like that. So, which Hogwarts house would they be put in? Tanner would be a Gryffindor. He just does what's right. He's very, very Gryffindor. Yeah. What would you say to them? If I met Tanner, the first thing I'd tell him is to open his mind. He's very closed off. He believes what he believes, and he believes that because his experiences have told him that, but he doesn't believe there would be a possibility that any other experience might exist. So opening his mind would make a big difference for Tanner. All right. So which character from a popular book or series would make a good best friend for Alice? Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird. I think they're both pretty precocious. They're headstrong. Neither of them will be told what's right and what's wrong. I feel like they'd get along really well. Which character from a popular book or series would give your main character an interesting fight? I'm going Henry Bowers from It on this one. Henry has a weakness for females, and he doesn't really respond to them the same way he does to males. And Alice has an inability to really stand up against males who are willing to be tough with her. So I think she would have a hard time standing up to him, but he would have a hard time really pushing her too far. So I think it'd be an interesting fight. I don't know how that would turn out. Which character would make a good romantic interest? I'm going Danny Torrance, which is kind of strange because I went with Jack for giving an interesting fight for Tanner. And that's because Tanner is kind of the opposite kind of person raising Alice throughout the story. He raises her much the opposite of how Jack raised Danny. So those two things kind of coincide a little bit. But Danny would be really good for her because he also sees things that other people don't see. And so they'd be able to kind of rely on each other and turn to each other. So which story would she feel comfortable being thrown into? The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. That would be a perfect world for her. You drop her in that and she would just have a day with it. She'd be fine. Which would she feel completely out of place in? Probably something like Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. That kind of fantasy stuff she has no concept of. She has a concept of real world, spiritual kind of paranormal, but nothing fantasy magic kind of stuff. She doesn't really have any experience with that. Which Hogwarts house? I think she'd be a Hufflepuff. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure she'd be a Hufflepuff. And as far as what I would say to her, I'd have a hard time saying a whole lot to Alice. She's really tormented, and she has a lot of serious things in her past, and I'd be very frightened of how what I said to her might cause her more problems because of her history, which when the book is out, you'd be able to find out about. Anyway, so yeah, I enjoyed doing the tag. That was a lot of fun. So I might do that for some other main characters at another point. I'm just so immersed in a story when I'm working on it that it's hard for me to kind of shift gears and think about other characters and things like that. So I think that kind of does it for today. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the day, get some more editing done. Like I said, I'm on page 135, so hopefully I will make some progress. I'd love to be able to finish this chunk before the end of the night, but I'm not 100% sure if I'll focus long enough for that because I've been focused all day. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And also my links to my Twitter and my Instagram and my Snapchat are all down below. And you can find me on all of them. I'm at WordsmithSarah. Well, thank you for hanging out with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. Bye! So, yeah.